Well, good day, everyone. I'm Diagonal Fire, and I'm going to kind of explain to you how to make regular old guys, which would be this guy here, into something more along this. Now, I'm going to make a few step-by-step tutorials, hopefully, with kind of different ideas, techniques that you can use on all your characters for Warhammer and 40k, 30k, a few other ones that are out there as well. The model I'll be using is a standard apothecary model out of a old command box. That new codex is supposedly coming out here soon. They're producing some new stuff. GW, you cheeky mothers. Always going for them wallets. So, I'm already seeing a bit of a problem with this guy. He's kind of a shiny black, which I'm going to re-over in just a little black base, which I use and prefer the Citadel Abaddon Black. I hand base all of my units, including the big ones, the big ones. So, once you get it all blazed black, I will then use a white. I like the white scar. Nice. It's a thicker paint, not as chunky as the base. From there, I'll be using other colors, including Warp's Lock Bronze and Brass Scorpion for lighter and darker color shades, from reds to greens. And I'll go over that here in a bit. Alright. See you guys in a few. Welcome back, guys. I'm kind of reprimed this guy a little bit and still kind of drying a little bit on some spots I missed. I preferably don't like shiny base paint. That gets on my nerves. Shines, obviously, especially in the light. So this guy is actually going to be one of my, I handle the light there, one of my my Deathwatch Apothecary, actually, for a group that I play with. He will, though, end up being a loyal Death Guard, like this guy right here. For those who know who he is Nathaniel Garrow, custom, 100%. I made him myself. Well, at least the cape. The others were just bits I pulled out of different boxes, including the sword Grey Knight, random head, some basing materials. But, some of the stuff was all regular base, like the armor Stern Guard and some other things. Anyway, onto the actual painting. Here we go. You guys can use whatever paints you want. I prefer Citadel, like I might have stated earlier. So I'm going to start with the Citadel layer. White scar kind of as the under overcoat for my apothecary here. Yes, I know most apothecaries are white anyway in the 40k universe, but I kind of ignore that rule. I really don't care. I've made many different colored apothecaries. This guy right here was probably blue at one point. Not Smurf blue, but blue. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Always shake your paint. Always shake your paint before you use it. Alright. Some people like using the palettes and things like that. Oh, come on. I don't. I do it right out of the tip, or top of that. I prefer, relatively sizable brushes with my miniatures here, so kind of a scale. Like I said, kind of a base, secondary base coat. So, just get some on your brush there. Not too much, but just enough so you got some on there, so it'll layer on. Switching between camera and oversight here, so if light's not very good here. So I'm just going to start by, getting down here on his legs. Make sure it's all white. You will, especially with white, you will need more than one coat. It's just something that white, the lighter colors in general, yellow, white, orange, the bright stuff, like the really bright stuff, is always like, you always gotta more than one coat. So, let's see here. I'm just gonna get in there, kind of a first coat base there. Yeah. Just kind of get in there. If you always need to, restock your brush, get it on there. Don't slop it on there, don't try to layer it too much. It's another thing. I used to layer way too much, and it definitely made the model look really chunky, and I didn't like that when I first started. Definitely gotten better over the past few years. So yep, just I guess iron hands. If you're doing an iron hands model, boom, blacken your base, your gun, you're done. I'll get to the details of certain guys later. But I prefer the black base. Sometimes people will base it white. Not my thing. From that, just pretty much I'll just do an overcoat of white, except for some spots like that apothecary Narthicum shouldn't have all that white on there. I'll probably go over that in black again anyway. I will come back to you guys then with at least mostly done here. So I will talk to you guys momentarily. Oh, before I forget, cleaning your brush, very important. Always have some kind of water tool, not tool, but cleaning your brush, very important. Always have a clean setup. This paper towel actually does need to be thrown out, and I need to get a new one. I'll do that eventually here, probably after this tutorial actually. So always take care of your brushes. Learn that one the hard way. So always take good care of them, guys. So I will be back in a bit when I got him mostly white. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. Kind of went ahead and forwarded up, like I said, mostly all white here. Definitely missed a few spots, but I'll take care of those later. I want to kind of move on to probably actually start up with some of the easier parts like the shoulder pads, things like that. Maybe the back, maybe the power pack, maybe some other spots down here on his legs. Even I'll probably save the Narthicum for last, and the chainsword, probably his chest as well, or for last areas. Another thing I probably should have mentioned earlier. Doing this in pieces, especially someone like this. The other model that I showed you earlier, this guy right here. I mean, I did his front body in power pack without the cape before I even glued on either arm. Before I glued either arm on, actually, or even you had most of those even based. I would do the entire body and head before either arm went on, or even put together for that matter. It makes it, usually it'll make it a cleaner paint, cleaner set. So, kind of think about that when you're, especially for this, my first tutorial. This is my first real big thing here, so let's move on. So I'm actually going to start with the shoulder pads here. So I'm using the dark Color Bright green. It's usually a dark Eldar color. It's this green here, without this one has a shade on it, which I'll get to later about shades and how I use them. So that'll be most of his shoulder here. So let's go ahead and get started. My brush size usually for this one will probably be a bit smaller. So get some of that paint on the brush there. All right. So obviously, make sure your model is dry relatively. Usually pretty much dry when you start this. I'm going to try to get more light on here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Here's a very good reason why I like separating. I can't really quite see it, the camera's not too focused. You see in here where the paint's kind of together, right in here. Painting separately kind of helps prevent that. Later I might actually pop this off and power pack or the arm, depending which one comes off easier. Paint it up, scrape off the old stuff, repaint it, glue it back on, and definitely look a little nicer. But for now, just kind of just work around it here. So. Set this over here actually so I can kind of just reach into it. It's actually my second army that I'm working on now, Loyal Death Guard. I play 30 and 40k. Iron Hands Legion for now. So I gotta get these Death Guard up and going. Some of you may have noticed by now I kind of feel careless with the green here. I kind of like falling back on the idea of being able to go back and fix what you've messed up, generally. That wasn't even supposed to happen. Crap, I'll fix that later. So you can see that actually kind of comes out a little farther there and there, but I kind of covered them up a little bit. Okay. The next thing on the Death Guard, so the big thing is, especially I guess more of a personal preference, but the way I've seen it is the left shoulder is a solid green with a white border, and the right shoulder over here will be a white with a green border. From every other picture and lore thing that I've seen, it's pretty much how they did it for the Death Guard. Pretty similar with the Luna Wolves, if you guys know who they are. White Scars. A lot of the lighter colored chapters, you look at Iron Hands and stuff like that. They really don't do that, so pretty sure Salamanders don't do that either. But so very, very up to you how you paint your shoulder pads. If you're doing a custom chapter, hands down, hands up for you. I wrote my own lore for my own custom chapter, the Defiant Phoenix. They have actually recently merged with the Iron Hands. I still have some of those old models that I play with too, lore and all. So gotta get in there. Come on. I hate the blind spots. That's, like I said, that's kind of why I do pieces like this piece right here. I would have totally done the shoulder pad, or even just popped off the chain sword here. Wouldn't even put that on until I finished the shoulder pad. So oh, and there's two places that I still need to put some green. The last guy on Nathaniel Garrow, I put it over here on this knee pad. I think I'm going to switch off and put one on this knee pad, actually. That's the kind of cool thing you can do with your Space Marines, and some of the other armies too, but I really see it a lot more in the Space Marines. And Imperial Guard, or Astra Militarum now, sorry. Veteran player here, sorry, my bad. You guys probably don't know what IG even means. I kind of just told you, Imperial Guard. There you go. You can really customize each Space Marine accordingly. Buying those boxes, which are, for any of the races, these come with all that extra stuff. I've kept all those bits. Kind of kept them, and that's kind of how I made Garrow over there. So a lot of that's just extra leftover bits, and kind of worked out. I like the model. It's really great. First real customized model that I've made, and it turned out pretty well. So, kind of skipped through the first bit there, and now you kind of see I'm really getting into it with you guys here. So, this segment's definitely a little longer than the rest of the one. Oh, geez. Okay, I need to fix that. So it's pretty much a lot for the green that I definitely did here. So, might be some green later, and other spots like the eyes, I bet I'll use a different green color. So, yeah, just something there. Later, if you guys, if I don't show certain techniques that you guys are looking for, or don't explain certain things, like I probably won't go over too much with the dry brush on these guys. I use most of my dry brushing on vehicles, like walkers, dreadnoughts, tanks, other things like that. If I do any dry brush, it'll be very, very minimal, and it'll be another white after I put on the shade, depending, so on. Alright, from here, I guess we can just move on to the next color. That's pretty much all the green that I can see vaguely, the naked eye here, that I'm going to do. I probably won't, I'm going to say this now, I probably won't do a cape. This cape right here was an hour-and-a-half project alone, just molding it to that pack and getting to where it was. So, we'll probably not do the cape. I guess actually I will. Actually, I'm going to kind of jump around myself here. Like I said, I'm actually going to work the chest next, just because of the way. Just because I'm thinking the way I'm doing it systematically. I'm actually going to do the chest in a dark. Actually, not. No. I'm actually going to end up doing it in more of a light brass. So I'm going to use the brass. Here we go. The brass scorpion paint. So pop this open here. Oh geez, that's not really getting even washed off. Come on. Make sure you get all the paint off from your last bit, or at least as much as you can. Your brushes will start to fade to the colors, the darker colors, but sometimes they'll cycle around when you start using lighter colors again, but it just happens, especially when they dry. I guess. Come off of that. So, oh, geez, my hand's right there. I'm sorry. Get in there. So. Trying to systematically looking back and forth from the camera to the actual model in front of me. So, trying to make sure you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Not very good at looking through other things in painting. I'll put it on. So it's a little thick right there, so I might. Before I get it more it dries, not too much water. Water can be a very, very good friend. May take a little bit off, but you might have to put. Oh, that's actually the white underneath. I put too much white on that. Alright. Sad day. Fix that up. Yeah, that's definitely too much white. That's what that was. Alright. So guys, yeah, I'm not a pro painter. I don't have that, super awesome setup. But yeah, I'm just one of those amateur painters like pretty much everybody else out there that's not, making money off of this, for just a living, painting these things. That'd be cool. I'm not even close to being there yet. I hope one day I might, but not quite there. My bad. As you can see, I kind of messed up right there. I end up going back over that with white eventually, if I can. Unless this water can get most of it off. Not really. Anyway, I'll go back over that in white and a little bit when we do the touch-up stage. That's really my favorite stage, is the touch-up stage, because that's really where a model can start to shine. For many reasons. Like if I'd go back over this in another coat of white, things up here too, just things that are done. Alright. You guys can, oh geez, wow, that camera just did not unfocus right there. Come on. There we go. And you can kind of see, it's definitely not the greatest job I've done. I could pull out a couple other models, show you guys. But I'm running on almost 15 minutes with just this segment here. I will probably continue moving on with him, probably especially going back over in white, and do not probably won't do any touch-ups. I'll probably I'll touch up his head here with the white when I do the rest of it. Other than that, I will be back with the next part of the tutorial, which will still be more layering and detailing, but most of the big colors here. So, like I said, any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will make another video, and we will move on with this Death Guard. Alright guys, thanks.